Go.
Releases of The Last of Us Part 1 on PC, Jedi Survivor, and now Redfall, I'm finding myself looking around the landscape and wondering what the hell is going on. It seems like more and more often we're finding ourselves getting excited for games to release, and then leading up to a launch, a ton of red flags start to show. Take Redfall for example. The fact that embargoes on reviews were set to expire only 2 hours before a launch, with a lot of notable creators and reviewers not receiving review codes at all, as well as that god.
See, that's the scary thing as well, right? With this, like, they stopped anybody like posting their reviews for Redfall up to 2 hours before it came out. 2 fucking hours. Like, no, like hardly anybody's going to see those reviews. They're going to either buy the game or they're going to like install it through Game Pass and just fucking realize how shit it is.
Awful IGN gameplay from a couple weeks ago. It's tough to believe that anyone had high hopes for the game.
That's
at
just
all.
not going to work in
Then
Thomas.
it releases. 30 FPS locked on consoles, broken AI, and an unfinished mess of a world. A lot of you have been asking me about my coverage of the game. Truthfully, I thought it looked terrible from the initial announcement, and seeing the release date of the game, I can't in good faith give Arcane and Bethesda my money just to make a video showcasing how terrible it is. Time and time again, games are releasing unfinished, broken, clearly
No wonder they knew it was
unoptimized for
gash.
PC,
It
and
was
in some
terrible,
cases,
man.
even consoles.
It's not even got like a good base either. Like they can work on it. I think they'll just.
We get the coveted paragraphs.
I think they'll just scrap that game. They'll just be like, right, let's move on to the next one. Not dealing with that shit. There's no point.
Of white words over black backgrounds telling us that
The
this
all
isn't
blue
the
screen.
standard that insert billion-dollar studio name upholds for their
Screwed,
games,
man.
and how they intend to make it right every fucking time. It's beginning to be a very tiresome
launchers.
cycle watching games release left, right, and center at $70 price points that should be bargain bin level pricing. And in some cases, we get the excuse that, well, I played it on Game Pass, so I didn't really lose out. I'm not going to spend the video discussing Game Pass and how I feel that gamers are using it as an excuse for mediocrity. I just want to know when the gaming industry...
Hey, what's up, Jade? The thing is, though, see, with it being on Game Pass as well, though, right? Like, it saved a hell of a lot of people money. Although it's still, I don't know, still no fucking excuse for how bad that game was. Like, or most games on Game Pass. Like, me and Jamie's played a fair few games, but the multiplayer just fucking doesn't work. What was that Wastelanders we played, Jamie? Right? Was it No, it wasn't Wastelanders. It was what was it called? 2 seconds. We have to bring this up. It was an ARPG. It was like a futuristic one. We just kept getting booted all the time. Ah, it'll be in my library. I can't even remember what it was called. But me and Jamie played. No, like Wastelanders had like a couple of issues, but there was another one. It was like an ARPG. It was set in like, it was futuristic, and just kept getting disconnected, fucking like all the time, and we eventually just stopped playing it. I don't remember what it was called. And I'm just scrolling down. See if I can have a look, but there's like 400 games to go through. I'll probably miss it. The Ascent. That's what it was. The Ascent. We played that. I think it was last year we played it.
A multi.
And the amount of times like we played games on
is
Game
going to
Pass
get
and it
its
just doesn't
shit
work
together.
properly.
From Saints Row to Callisto Protocol to Forspoken, The Last of Us PC port, Jedi Survivor, Redfall, all disgustingly broken at launch with promises that they will be fixed later. It's fucking pathetic. That's not to say we haven't had some bangers too, though. Hogwarts Legacy this year was a fantastic title. Dead Space Remastered.
Do you not think that as well? We're just like beta testers for every game that comes out. Like, well, you know what? We'll just release it. We'll get it fixed later. It's fine. It doesn't matter how it releases, but we can fix it in 6 months.
Which I thought was going to be a disaster, actually turned out pretty solid. Resident Evil 4, hell, I've been spending a lot of time playing Octopath Traveler 2 on the Steam Deck, and it's been running great.
I do need
Dead
to play
Island
Resident
2,
Evil.
just recently, as much as it didn't jive with a crowd of gamers, it's a pretty solid piece of software that quite a few people found enjoyable. But for every good or even great game we're also getting a myriad of constant disappointments from the AAA space, and I'm really just unsure why. Back in 2021, people were claiming that the pandemic made it hard for devs to work at home. 2022 was kind of more of the same. We're in the middle of 2023, and the focus of everyone's attention is now on Starfield, which is already showing signs of potential issues. And I don't understand.
Starfield's not looking that great though. It seemed like a couple
playable
like
games
gameplay
have a
trailers for it now,
bare
and it just
fucking
does not look good.
And still, a lot of the time, we can't get them from billion-dollar companies. Now, a year ago, May 12th, 2022,
Just try to rush releases though, right? I think that's what it is.
The white words
Just try to
on the
rush
black
like
background,
games as
always.
quick as
We made
possible.
the
Hopefully it's in a
decision to
half
delay the
decent
launches
state,
on both
and then just
Redfall
get as
and
much money as
Starfield
possible.
for the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane, Austin, and Bethesda have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. Now, this was a year ago, and during that time, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, came out and said that these decisions are hard on teams making the games and our fans. While I fully support giving teams time to release these great games when they are ready, we hear the feedback. Delivering quality and consistency is expected. We will continue to work to better meet those expectations. And now here we are. Metacritic, with the critic review score being a 62,
2.4
with the
user score for
being a
Redfall. I thought it would have
2.1.
been worse.
62 is a Metascore from one of the most anticipated Xbox exclusives of the year is pathetic. And just based on the myriad of issues that we have seen from a lot of different people, and not even just performance issues, but just the fact that the game's AI is so fucking buggy and broken, it just shouldn't have gone out. And the question that I have is, all of these companies, these, again, billion-dollar studios, keep putting these posts out time and time again, apologizing for the release of The Last of Us Part 1,
You're right, especially after Cyberpunk. Like Cyberpunk was so buggy, so many issues. It got taken off the PlayStation Store because it was so bad. You think people, like companies, would learn, especially after that. The amount of issues that had and the amount of like controversy it caused. It's just going to get worse as well, I think. I don't think it's going to get any better.
Apologizing for the release of Redfall, and we continually just do the same fucking thing year in and year out. And like, my question is why do we keep supporting companies like this? And the thing is there is absolutely no solve for this, because people are still...
Hey, Paul, thank you so much for the 3-month support, man.
I can only hope that Redfall, as much as I want to support the developers that worked on that game, because they're the ones out here 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day grinding, coding, and building these games up, I want to support them. I want to have good experiences with these games. But what course of action do we as consumers have when we aren't buying these games at $70? We are playing these games on Game Pass, and when the games come out absolutely fucked, all we do is chalk it up to, not really a big loss for me. I just played it on Game Pass. It's fucking pathetic. And I just wanted to make a video letting you guys know I'm not going to be covering Redfall. I'm going to be waiting on Jedi Survivor until it is in a state that I actually feel comfortable.
Okay, man. It's like running like 20 FPS.
I don't get review codes for a lot of games. I'm not that kind of channel. I like to give you guys my honest opinions, but also at the same time, I am struggling with the cycle of constantly playing games, paying for Game Pass, buying games at $70, and they are always fucked. From Saints Row to Jedi Survivor to Redfall, and I am hoping that Starfield doesn't suffer the same fate. Honestly, guys, Starfield is one of my most anticipated games of the year, and the thing is I'm not even really that excited.
He's right though, right? Like Game Pass shouldn't be an excuse. Oh well, I played on Game Pass. Like I didn't lose out on much. Think about the guys that like bought it on Steam for like 70 quid, $70 for fucking. For Redfall, that game should be like a tenner at most.
It's just a matter of, if that game comes out in a good state, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to play the absolute shit out of it, and I know I'm going to enjoy a game like that. But if it comes out and it is performing like Jedi,
just because it's on Game Pass,
it's as barren and broken,
like it shouldn't mean it's like I don't know, the standard should drop, right? Shouldn't mean you'd be like, well, whatever.
Decades at this point.
I'm just glad I got in there, because that way I didn't have to spend fucking 60 quid on a shit game.
Better than to push this game out the door. Is it Xbox's fault? Is it Arcane's fault? Is it Bethesda's? I don't know. But what I do know is this cycle needs to stop. And we need to figure out how we can make this cycle stop, because I'm getting tired of it, and I know you guys are too.
Especially since it's a like first party Xbox release, right? Like they own Bethesda now, they own like Arcane,
that you're actually enjoying right now.
And they released it in that state when Xbox games are, well, Xbox first party games are like few and far between.
Know in the comments below, sound off, and let's take a really big series of negatives lately, and let's turn it into something positive. What are you guys playing? Let me know down below if you enjoyed my little venting.
What, you guys
little
playing
rant
fuck all
section
because of
on the
none to
current
play?
state of AAA gaming. Leave a like down below while you're leaving that comment. As always, my name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
I'll see you on the next one. Star Wars gaming is apparently so fucked it's embarrassing. I don't know if they've fixed that now. But when that released, man, jeez. The amount of reviews I've seen on it, guys were like, I'm getting 30 FPS on like a 4090. A 4090 like fucking minimum settings. Ridiculous.